Hi plastics, welcome back to Chips and Plastic.
And today we're going to be discussing the absolute bloodbath of a failed drop that was the Bratz and Mean Girls collab, Regina. So if you guys don't already know, Bratz and Mean Girls collaborated to bring out all the Mean Girls dolls from Katie Heron to Regina George and of course Gretchen and Karen. Now, about 2 weeks ago, Katie released, she came out on Bratz.com and it was a fail. If you don't know about that, check out this video. We talk all about it and go into detail about it. But you know, speaking about Katie, that drop was a nightmare.
It was a show.
It was honestly crazy. It was, you know, hardly anyone got her. It was all scalpers and bots and, you know, only a lucky few got her. Since then, with the Katie drop, before we get into the Regina drop, I want to just discuss a little bit about that. What happened was a lot of people were saying, like especially international people, that their orders were getting delayed, their orders were getting cancelled, and people were being told things like their order numbers don't exist and all this stuff. There were even ones where they didn't have tracking and they were trying to get updates on tracking and Bratz weren't replying to their emails. It's just like the miscommunication alone has been a nightmare. We didn't get her, but the people who did, it's like they're still struggling too.
Yeah. It makes you think, is there anyone at Bratz? Like, do they even have a team?
Yeah.
Is there customer service?
Because they're not even communicating these things properly.
Exactly.
You know? With the Katie drop, Bratz did go in to say that they were only recently, a few days ago on Instagram, they were saying that they're going to be restocking Katie and they're also going to have more stock for the Regina drop. So now today's the day of the Regina drop as of filming this. We did film our whole experience getting her.
Oh my god, 202.
Your card is sold out.
What?
Yeah. No, I'm sold out. I didn't get it. Did you?
No, I'm still waiting.
Unfortunately, we did not get her. We were the unlucky few that, the unlucky many, I should say, that didn't get Regina. So if you'd like to see that video, if you haven't already, check that video out. It's a lot. It's just a lot. I'm going to say that.
It's dramatic, stressful, and I'm fed up at this point.
So going into this, people were either one way or the other. They thought it's going to be worse than Katie, it's going to be a terrible drop. But then what ended up happening was, like I said, Bratz came forward and said, hey, we're going to have more Reginas. So then people started thinking, oh, you know what, maybe this drop's not going to be as bad as Katie.
Yeah.
You know? But I want to know, like, what were your thoughts? Did you think it was going to be as bad as Katie, or did you think it was going to be, like, worse than Katie?
I thought it's going to be worse than Katie because Regina is such an iconic character, and of course her doll will sell out. A lot of doll collectors or like Mean Girls fans will flock to the website to get her. And when I saw the comment of them having more stock for Regina, I thought, yay, you know, like this time it's going to be better. We will have, us fans will have more of a chance to get her. One Regina doll per customer. Seems fair, right? This time, you can only get one.
Man, the bots must have been all over it again.
Oh, yeah.
But you know, that's the thing, right? Like it was, they made us think, hey, we're gonna restock, so it's gonna be better this time. But if anything, it felt worse. I mean, I don't know the exact minutes that she sold out. I'm going to say it's either 2 or 3.
I know, it was 202 when you told me she was selling out.
Her selling out so quickly, just like Katie. But again, like Stefan just said, it was only one limit per customer. So if she sold out that quickly, it's like, well, what's going on? You know, how is she selling out so quickly? It's honestly just so sad the way this has gone.
Another point with the pricing in Australia, last time Katie was listed for $105. Okay? And then, like yesterday's afternoon when I was checking the website, it had gone up to 110. So I said to Sean, hey, maybe it's inflation, maybe it's the currency exchange. Maybe because you know it happens on Creations Mattel when some dolls go from $95 to $100 and then go back to $95. Understandable. And then just
like minutes before the release.
Minutes before release, we checked and Katie was 120 Australian dollars.
Yeah.
So that is what, $15 more?
Yeah. And also the postage too.
Oh yeah.
So the postage was $15 last time, well, like to here in Australia anyways. And now it's $50. Like, what is this? They're just like trying to, like, they're being scalpers.
They're scalpers, yeah.
You know, like that is just a ridiculous price, you know? But yeah, like we said earlier, we were unable to get her. But we tried. Last time with Katie, we only tried to get one on one computer. But we thought, you know what, this time, either way, we both want one doll each for our collection. But the thing is, if we were only got one between us to share, we would have been happy with that too. So we thought, you know what, why don't we both try? So I was on my computer, Stefan was on his computer. Do you want to tell the plastics what your experience was?
I mean, I was on the Bratz Mean Girls page and Sean was on the Shop All page.
Because we thought if we do that this time, because last time with Katie's drop, everyone got confused and was on that page, on the Bratz and Mean Girls page. But you had to go to Shop All. I figured that out last time, but we thought, you know what, they made changes to the website this time, because they did. And so we're like, what if we just try and like, I go on Shop All again and you go on Bratz Mean Girls, just in case.
And when the clock ticks 2 o'clock, she was not there. So I was panicking. Why?
But she wasn't for me either.
Yeah.
And I was clicking refresh.
Me too. I was clicking so many times. And then eventually she appeared. I clicked on her.
Did she appear on the Bratz Mean Girls
on the
page?
Bratz Mean Girls page.
Right. Okay,
yes,
yeah.
she did. So I added her to cart, checkout, and guess what? I got taken to the capture page and that messed up so much. It took me so long. It keeps asking me to verify the hydrants, the bicycles. Like, man, I'm traumatized from seeing the
How many
hydrants.
captures do you think you got?
I easily 20.
Wow.
Like I remember you were like, hey, what's going on? I was on this capture page for ages and I was like, no, man, like what am I doing? Like, why is it doing this? It was taking me nowhere.
By the time he got into capture, I was already like in line.
I pressed submit and mine says, guys, less than a minute. And at this point, it was 2:01. So I'm like, yep, I got time. It's okay. I'm good to go.
So for me, like Stefan said, I was on the Shop All page. I was clicking refresh over and over and again. And 2 o'clock came around because here in Australia, because of time zones, here it's 2 a.m. at the release time. Hitting refresh button, she didn't pop up. And then all I see, and then it finally refreshed Karen and Gretchen first. And next to them was Regina. And I was like, oh my God, okay. Clicked her straight away, added her to cart. Now, mind you, when I added her to cart, she was the only thing in my cart. And this is where it gets weird, guys. So I added her to cart, I proceeded to checkout, and then it took me to the capture as well. Now for me, the capture was pretty easy. It was a bit more of a difficult capture than last time, I remember, and maybe they implemented that to like stop bots. I don't know, that's what I'm thinking, which in a way, maybe that's a good thing, but there was obviously some glitches happening there. The website is just so glitchy, it's just not on. So my capture, I remember my first capture that came up was traffic lights. So I selected traffic lights, went next. Then it took me to motorbikes. So then I did that, and then I went next again. And then I had to choose cars, and then I submitted. I was fine. That's the only captures I had. And I got through it pretty quickly. Meanwhile, Stefan's in the back there behind me, like clicking all these
I was screaming.
things.
I'm like, why is it doing this to me?
Yeah.
Like, I need to go. I need to check out.
Yeah, it was so bad, guys. So I get through and then it's fine. But the weird thing is, right? So then when it takes you to after the capture and it puts you in line. So I'm in line at this point, right? But it says that I had 2 things in my cart. I had Katie and I had Regina. Now, you might be thinking, maybe Katie was still in your cart from last time when you tried to get her. No, this was a new account. So the account that I used last time, Stefan was using. I made a new account so that we could both purchase, right? And so there was no way, like I looked back at the footage, my cart was 0. It was a 0 in there before I even selected Regina. So there was some kind of glitch there, which again, what the you know, like what is up with that? I'm in the checkout. It says Katie there, and underneath it's got Regina there, and Katie has an out of stock and Regina has a tick, and it says this big thing that says some of your items in your cart are out of stock. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna leave it, whatever, I'm in line. Then it takes me over to this new screen, like a payment screen, right? It says out of stock. Your items in your cart are out of stock. And then on the side here, the only thing that was in my cart was Regina. And that was 2:01, guys, 1 minute. So technically speaking, did she sell out in 1 minute?
Probably.
You know what I mean? I think she might have.
Yeah.
Because then by the time, then it kind of like took me back to when she was, like I was in line again. It still said Katie. I still had Katie there. I still had Regina there. And it said I was in line waiting, and it said less than 2 minutes. By this time, Stefan's already in line and it's saying less than a minute. 2:02 hits. Then I get the out of stock. Unavailable.
Mine was still loading, guys. Less than a minute. She was happening. She was still loading. She was still running.
Yeah, and it still said out of stock. So by that point, I turned to Stefan and I was like, babe, it's sold out. It's gone. And he waited in line, and we ended up jumping on live on Instagram to chat with everyone and see what the aftermath was.
The internet exploded.
So speaking of the aftermath, oh my God, guys. I mean, it's still happening. I mean, this happened like an hour and a half ago as the time we're filming this. But, you know, we were on live for about 15, 20 minutes. And, you know, everyone in our chat was just losing their minds. By that point, Stefan was still waiting in the queue, but it said on the thing, last checked at 2:02 a.m. So it obviously had glitched, but it never took him away from that. So it was just so weird, you know? During that aftermath in our live, like everyone was losing it. Like everyone was like, I didn't get her. The same problems as us. I think one of the main problems that I kept seeing was the problem you were having.
The capture. But your issue was so weird.
I haven't heard anyone else talk about my issue.
Yeah.
Let me know in the comments down below, guys. Did you have that same issue where Katie got randomly added to your cart? I feel like I'm the only one so far who's had that issue.
Yeah.
If you want to see the full thing, check out that video, like I said earlier. The whole thing, the entire thing was just weird. It was just like the website itself was buggy. Between website glitches and bugs, it got us thinking, is there a difference between trying to purchase this drop on the computer versus a mobile device? So both times with the Katie drop and the Regina drop, we used our computers. Only because usually with Mattel creations, using a computer is better and safer and more guaranteed than a mobile device. But a common thing that we have been seeing amongst this was a lot of people who were successful in getting Regina and Katie had used a mobile device, to what we know. So we put up a poll on Instagram asking our followers, you guys, the plastics, what you used if you were successful at getting Regina or Katie. And, you know, the results explain themselves. Most people were saying that, you know, a mobile device is what they were successful on. But, you know, then we've got a few comments and a few messages saying they had different experiences with mobile versus computer. So it's really hard to tell. Is there a right way? Like, is the website designed better for a mobile device where it has less glitches and bugs that cause you to like get out of checkout? But, you know, it's interesting because a few people, like in this comment, for example, said I had multiple devices, iPads, phones, laptops, and the laptop is the one that worked in the end. So it's kind of hard to know like which device is better. Obviously, this is pure speculation and it may not be the case at all. It's probably just down to pure luck at this point. But let us know in the comments down below. is this something that you experienced or that you think? It's interesting to note for next time. So we think next time we're going to try on the computer and the mobile and see which one works.
Do we know how much it's selling for on eBay right now?
I had a look, but I mean, there was already pre-sales.
Yeah.
And the pre-sales were like 500, 600, 700, 800.
Just take a look at this, guys. Someone from the Bratz World community group has posted the screenshots of a conversation between a buyer and a scammer, a scalper. And look at this. Someone got 71 Reginas and they got absolutely no shame. Take a look at this. The drop was easy. Ha ha ha, laughing in our faces, just bragging about it. Kudos to this person who said, but isn't it kind of sad that actual collectors aren't able to even get a doll because people like you are buying 71 of them, then selling them for triple the price? Like, really? Get a real job? Yes, you tell them. But it's physically impossible to order more than one per household. Therefore, you're scamming people because you don't have access to that many of the dolls. And they said, yeah, I'm a botter. I can get as many as I want. It is just so horrendous and so disgusting. Such disgusting behavior. This item hasn't even been released yet. And also there is a purchase limit of 1 per customer. So how the hell do you have 5 available? Stop scamming people for money. That's disgusting behavior. Well, they go on and said, eBay allows pre-sales and I'm following eBay pre-sale rules. I can get as many as I want because I put in more effort than you. Using your logic is Bratz scamming people because they charge $60 and they only pay $5 to make them. Honestly, putting in the work, we as collectors put in so much work. We stay up late, we call off work, setting up everything just to beat bots and scalpers. And we can't even get one. We have 2 people here. If you guys go back to our video, we had different problems. And at the end, either of us could get a single doll. Now, this is the account from the scalpers. It's called Strike Access. I'm going to read it out to you guys. Our members might have just made $47,000 on Bratz dolls today. Yes, you heard that right. This Bratz Mean Girls collab sold out instantly. Retailed was $65.70. They're reselling for $225 plus. This makes profit per doll $160. We purchased 300 plus for our members using our free auto checkout. No effort on their end, just W's. What's W's? Why settle for less when you could be part of this? Oh my goodness. The shamelessness, the disgusting behavior. It's just unbelievable. Like, these people are just so low. They're scumbags.
Dude, like, just ridiculous. You know, these scalpers are just acting wild, you know? Going back to what everyone's experience was, we were looking at the Bratz social media after the aftermath, and all the comments are just angry fans. You know, everyone's upset. No one got her.
Bratz, are you even listening to your fans right now? We're very passionate. We want them. What's happening to us right now? Like, a lot of your fans, your true fans, are fed up. And I don't think you fix anything. Do something better. Because right now, we're just so sad and we're so angry. Like, honestly, after this drop, I don't think I can have the energy to go through that again. We did put a poll on our Instagram and many of our followers did not get her. The majority of us did not get her. Only a lucky few did manage to get her, but...
Yes, which again, congratulations to those of you who did. Because honestly, at this point, it feels like congratulations are in order when you get a doll from this Bratz Mean Girls drop, you know? Because it's like a sport. It's like, you know, it's like the lotto at this point, actually.
It is the lotto.
It's the lotto, you know? You're lucky or you're not. You know, it's just pure luck.
Yeah.
You know, because we were all there in line, waiting at checkout, in it, like within a minute. And it's still, what the heck,
What
you
the
know?
heck, yeah. So what are your predictions of future stock will be?
Well, I think it's hard to say. Can we trust what Bratz is saying?
No.
they're saying before this drop, hey, we're going to stock more Reginas so it'll be better. And then they're saying, oh, we'll get more stock in November and it'll be available on other sites like Amazon and whatever. But can we trust that?
No.
Can we trust what Bratz is saying to us?
No,
I don't think we can.
Not after this drop. Not after this drop. I don't think so.
So it's like, I don't even know if at this rate we can even get any of the dolls.
You know what I think it is? If nothing is said about restocking or having more stock, people will give up. If the drop is the same or worse than last time, no one will try for her. I don't want to go through that experience again.
Yeah.
Unless I know for real that something has been done, some improvements have been implemented, that they care for their fans.
Well, see, that's what I think. I feel like it's hard, right? Because I'm not defending them by any means, but I feel like they did listen in terms of like, the Bratz Mean Girls page did take you to Regina. That was a complaint everyone had last time with Katie.
Yeah.
So it did obviously take you there because they obviously implemented that. And then I'm assuming the extra captures were a precaution against bots. I don't know anything about when it comes to these kind of website codings or anything like that. So I don't know if that will even work.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming that's what it is. But again, it feels like it was maybe just slapped together.
Yeah.
I think it's like circling back to this point, what do I think of the future drops? I think these drops, there was no proper preparation. That's why they've failed so badly. If you look at the facts here, the facts are that both drops were such a fail. The aftermaths of the drops were a fail. Not only did Bratz upset fans last time by communicating things wrong to everyone, by being rude to fans, telling them to put it in the burn book, like the joke's over, babe. The bestie joke, Mean Girls jokes, it's over. At this point, people want proper answers.
You can only do that when we get the dolls. When
everyone's happy and everyone has it, you can make sarcasm jokes and people think it's funny, whatever. But in those cases, it just makes it like, hard. In saying that, like, those drops were really bad, right? So it's like, how are the future drops gonna be, even if they listen, when they weren't even prepared for these first ones? They announced, leaks of Bratz and Mean Girls were ages ago, like months and months ago those came out. So obviously this has been in the works for a while.
Yeah.
And then they weren't even prepared for these drops. So what makes us think they're going to be prepared in November or whenever to get everything out? Unless it's all a marketing stunt. Which brings us to our next point. Do you think that this, because let's be real guys, it has brought a lot of hype to it.
Yeah.
Everyone's upset, so everyone's talking about it. We're talking about it. Other doll collectors are talking about it. We're seeing posts everywhere. Is this a way for them to like market it and then they're just going to be like, hey, it's all out anyways? Rather than doing the way they released Kylie, and just being like, hey, mass produced, put her up, available everywhere. They're just like limited stock. Are they then going to turn around and say, look, due to high demand, we decided we're just going to make it mass produced. But really, that was the intention in the first place. And this whole kerfuffle and, crazy websites happening and scalpers and all this stuff was just to have them be on the same caliber as Monster High Collector releases. Because think about it, Bratz came forward, they made Always Bratz, they brought the Kylie dolls out, all this stuff, and while people love them, there's still so much stock of them. There wasn't like selling out, flying off the shelves, But this will make them fly off the shelves. Because think about it, guys, if they're going to be available in like my department stores here in Australia and on Amazon, and
we will eat them up.
Everyone's gonna eat them up.
Honestly,
everyone, every collector, every Bratz fan, every scalper, is going to purchase those dolls because they're gonna be like, oh my god, do you remember how crazy that drop was? I need to buy 2 of everything.
Yeah, and scalpers 2,000 of everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So do you think, in saying all of that, do you think it is like some form of a marketing stunt?
I think it is. I think it is a marketing stunt and they're doing it so well. It's achieving something for sure. Everybody's talking about Bratz. Everybody's talking about Bratz Mean Girls at this point, right? And I am hopeful that it is a stunt. So in the future, we'll be able to get these dolls in stores or online on Amazon. Do I think that it would take them to the caliber of Monster High? Maybe not so much, because yes, the collaboration is so amazing. The collab is long anticipated. The whole way they go around it is so wrong. So I don't know if people would just lose trust in the brand altogether.
Who knows? It could be a marketing stunt or not. It's just so hard to tell.
So how do you think the future releases should be improved?
Well, I personally think that I do think they tried to make improvements. I just think there wasn't enough preparation for the improvements. Like, you know, like I said earlier, the Bratz Mean Girls page did take Stefan to Regina's doll. That's an improvement, right? So, I mean, they did listen, but there's obviously some glitches there, you know, because then what? They made these extra captures for security reasons. But again, look at all, like one of the common problems we saw in our live chat across social media, you had the problem. People were like, oh my God, I went through 20 captures, I went through 30 captures, I went through this and that. It just wasn't verifying me and wasting so much time. And it's like, that's obviously not it wasn't implemented correctly. The intention of putting those captures there for extra security, the intention's great. But because it was only 2 weeks ago, this other drop, they obviously didn't have enough time to implement it correctly so that it wouldn't glitch out. I mean, look, maybe that's why I got Katie added to my cart, because it was some weird glitch.
Can you imagine you got her too? Katie?
Yeah, I know. But that's so weird, right? You know what I mean? It was just some weird glitch, and that's the problem. I think my thing would be, the way they can improve this would be a few things. I think firstly would be communicating things better, like when fans are talking about it, whatever, or like asking for things, or being very clear, you know, like last time with the whole Amazon links and everything, and they didn't show up and all this stuff. Like, they don't know what they're doing, you know, it feels like does anyone at Bratz or MGA know what they're doing? I don't know.
Really.
And it's like, with this one, it makes you think like what they need to do is just improve their communication, either with each other as a brand, as a company, or with their fans. You know, communicate, is it going to be available here? Is it going to be available then? Not just like these random dates and random things said over and over again. I think the next thing would be their website. I mean, that website is so outdated. Like, it needs to be completely improved. Just have like a bit more streamline with the website and make sure that it's not glitching out on everyone.
Exactly.
Like what it did for us, you know, and for everyone else, you know, all the captures, me having Katie added to my car, you know, like people being stuck in line. You got stuck, you know, like it's just like
forever.
Infinite in line. And
then finally I was so fed up, so I pressed refresh.
And mind you guys, we have a very good internet connection. So it's not our internet connection at all, you know. It's like, and that's the thing too, it makes you think, well, what do we do? Like, how can we improve this? We can't. It's them. They need to have a better website. So that would be what I would think, is that they just need a better, improved website. And you know what? Someone in our live chat, I can't remember who, did say a good point, saying that maybe they should be like made to order. And I just think, you know, those things, in my opinion, will be what will actually make it just a lot more improved.
I agree on those points. Look, the website interface, like they try to make Bratz somewhat like early 2000s, and I guess, you know, the cursor with the, you know, like with the trail.
It's like MySpace.
Yes, that is so cool. It's so nostalgic. I agree. They can keep that, whatever. But at least do it like Monster High, when you have the doll on countdown for 5 days or something. Or I don't know, 24 hours before the drop.
Yeah, there's like literally no countdown there.
Exactly. I thought it was 1 o'clock for us, but because of daylight saving, it was 2 o'clock, so it got pushed back by an hour. So without that countdown, we got no idea. I mean, extra research for us for nothing. Whereas we could just go on the website, look at the countdown, and know exactly when the doll will be dropped. So that small
adding a
like
countdown would just be really good.
Customer experience. If you can't beat Monster High, be like them. Monster High got fan club. Why Bratz not have Bratz Club? For true fans to have early access. We can have like a 24 hours before the public release.
I think that will make it a lot better. At least having like an early access. Yes, it's still somewhat of a flawed system because anyone can get a fan club membership and they could be scalpers and whatever. I get it. It still gives, I think, people just that little bit of extra opportunity to get the dolls. Before it's just like public release and everyone is going at it like vultures. So guys, in saying all that, I think, it's really disappointing to see where this release has gone. If you hadn't watched our old video when we talked about Katie's drop, you should check that out, like I said earlier, because, we also talk about like how people who aren't even doll collectors got PR, and just the whole release from the start has just been show, to be honest with you. And this Regina's drop has just gotten even worse. I know for a fact we're going to try for Karen and Gretchen, but I don't have a lot of hope. I mean, even with this one, I kept saying to Stefan earlier today, I was like, if when we don't get her or whatever, like I kept saying things like that, and he's like, no, don't say that, we're gonna get her. But I just had this, like, it was probably like 80-20. 80% thinking that we're not going to get her and 20% hope. Honestly, with Karen and Gretchen, I think it's 100% not going to get her. That's kind of how I feel. I know we're still going to try, but I don't have any hope.
No hope.
Like it's just hard to. Like, look at, like, we were so prepared. Like, granted, with Katie, I still feel like we were somewhat prepared, but this time, guys, we were prepared. Like, we were like ready, like 2 hours before we went on live, we talked to you guys, we were just prepared, and like, literally half an hour before the release, we were at our computers. Everything was ready. We didn't even screen record our computers because we were worried it would lag it. And everything was snappy, our internet was fine, we were totally prepared. And for us to be that prepared and have everything all filled out and ready to go, we still didn't get her. And for what? Because of capture errors, because of website glitches, dolls randomly being added to carts that are already out of stock. Like, come on. Like, how do we have any hope for future releases? We just cannot.
Who was I kidding? I was hopeful, and this is what happened to us.
Well, Plastics, thank you for tuning into today's video. This is obviously something different than we usually do here on Dripped in Plastic. I mean, we did do it 2 weeks ago, but
here we are again.
We'll probably do it again at the next release. We'll see. Let us know down in the comments down below. Did you get Regina? We want to know. If you did, what are your tips? Like, what did you do to get her? Or is it just luck? Do you feel like it's just luck? If you didn't get her, I want to know, did anyone else out there have the same issue as me? Did Katie get randomly added to your cart, or something get randomly added to your cart when you checked out? I'm really curious about that. And also, were you like Stefan and were you stuck on the captures? Did you have capture up to capture? Also, were you frozen in the checkout like Stefan was? We want to know.
Well, guys, now we will go back to editing our videos for you guys. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so you don't miss anything we post here on Dripped in Plastic.
Bye, Plastics.
Bye-bye. If you want to see more fun and exclusive content, we have so many cool things in store for our members.
Like behind the scenes footage of how we film and edit our videos, exclusive members only content, and so much more.
So go ahead and hit that join button and become a member today.